Alright everyone, so week 2 to this Rise of the Cyber Dragon series that we're doing. This is the deck that we were running last week. As you can see, everything's still the same, except for the limiter removals. They're in slightly different cases, but that will be shown as to why in a few moments. Just to quickly go over what we had 3 Cyber Dragons, 3 Cyber Dragon Dry, 3 Cyber Dragon Core, 3 Proto Cyber Dragons, 2 Cyber Eltanen, 3 Cyber Phoenix, 3 the Light Hex Sealed Fusion, 3 Solar Wind Jammer, 3 Power Bond, 3 Cyber Repair Plant, 3 Evolution Burst, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, 3 Limiter Removal, and 2 Wabako for the main deck. Then we had the 3 Cyber Twin Dragons and 3 Cyber Dragon Novas. Now we'll just show you what we're swapping here in just a moment.
A few moments later.
So we will be pulling out Solar Wind Jammer, Proto Cyber Dragon, and Cyber Phoenix from our main deck. And we will be swapping them with 1 Cyber Load Fusion and 2 Cyber Dragon Nashter. The Cyber Dragon Nashter basically allows to special summon itself as long as you discard a machine type monster with 2100 attack or higher, I believe. By discarding that to the graveyard, you are then able to special summon out Nashter. But when Nashter is special summoned to the field, you can then special summon one machine monster with 2100 attack or defense from the graveyard. But for the rest of the turn, you are unable to special summon anything else that's not a machine monster, which, you know, basically doesn't bother us at all, which is great. Also, if your opponent only controls monsters, you are able to banish this from the graveyard in order to basically special summon out your Cyber Dragon. And then with Cyber Load Fusion, you are able to special summon any fusion monster that lists Cyber Dragon as a material by shuffling any of the material cards from your field and or banished face-up pile into your deck, and then boom. However, by doing so, none of your monsters can attack this turn, so you know that's a bit of a bummer. But you can still use your effects, which is still very helpful. So finally, because we are able to swap out or just put in up to 5 cards for every episode, we are going to be adding in 2 new cards into our extra deck, Cyber Dragon Infinity and Cyber End Dragon. Both have been very lovely, especially Infinity. We all love Infinity. I plan to possibly add in a second one later. I just don't know if I want another alternate art or if I'm going to get the other art for my secondary Infinity. I did forget to mention that I will be showing the prices of each of these cards that I paid for. And remember, we are not including shipping into our costs as well. I'll put the price points above each card or next to them somehow, just so they're easier to see. Remember, I'm also using only the $5 that I knew I was going to have instead of all the winnings that I ended up having last week. And also for this week, we're going to be swapping out these cards that were in there originally for an upgraded version of each of them. So we'll just plop that in here and let you see what those look like as well. So we got 3 limiter removals at the super rarity level from the Pharaoh Servant packs from way back when, 2 ultra rarities of Cyber Eltanen, and then 3 lovely alternate arts of Cyber Dragon Ulti Rares. I mean, who doesn't like these? Like, these are way better than Starlight anyways. I mean, look at that. Ooh. God, I just love that. I love how that looks. Ooh. Alright, anyways, so you saw everything we swapped in, swapped out, and upgraded. So now let's get us straight to the duels for this week. Boom!
3 days later.
Alright, so for round 1, we are going against my Egyptian God deck that has like 2 Slifer and an Obelisk. I haven't played against or with this deck in a long time, and I completely forgot what it could do. So I will make a few misplays. I mean, they get Slifer out turn 1. I mean, it's only 1,000 attack. However, I can't really summon anything with 2,000 or less attack, otherwise it gets insta-killed. So that's why we're going on the defensive for quite some time. I don't really remember what it just put down on the back row. I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I think Mirror Force, and that's exactly what it was. Which I should have kept the other one, the Solar Wind Jammer, in defense mode and attacked with anything else, really. Metal Reflex Slime proves to be a slight problem. I mean, not a full problem, because you did see that I had the Mystical Space Typhoon. However, they did play another Mirror Force, which luckily is the thing I chose to destroy. We're tried to attack, which I was able to do thanks to, you know, having more than 2,000 attack. However, I did have to use my limiter removal this turn just to keep that alive. Perhaps I should have let it die, but I think that was the right call. The AI does get out a second Metal Reflex Slime. However, I do have Cyber Eltanen, which wipes the face-up monsters, so they will gain some more life, obviously thanks to Mamunga. The trap card, while not super worrisome, I just wanted to destroy, and that'll happen here in a moment. Clearly I don't have enough on board to do much, but I do have a Nashter and obviously Evolution Burst, so it helps clear their field for the moment. However, my Nashter is not long for this game, thanks to Super Nimble Mega Hamster. Double Power Bond, while could have been fun, it is a little cloggy, so I will eventually cut that down, probably not with the next week. However, probably weeks 4 or 5 for sure. I do have enough on field this turn to, not this turn, but because of Scapegoats, but next turn to clear and wipe out the remaining life points. However, I do want to try to bring out Infinity, so that is what we shall do, I believe, in this match, in this duel. Yep, thanks to Dry. Alright, we get Nova, and then on top of that we slap down the Infinity, suck up their monster, clear the other two with my weaker monsters, and then just finish them with Infinity. Alright, second duel. Yeah, so they got a double Slifer. I shouldn't have overcommitted on this board, however, I don't think that would have really mattered too much. Because they do have, I think, Soul Crossing is what it's called. Yep, Soul Crossing. Which I'll just use my monsters to help bring out one of their Slifers. Because, unfortunately for me, it is a quick play, however, I can plop out Cyber Eltanin. So we shall do that. And it, because limiter removal gets used, it does have enough attack points to stay on the field. However, that sort of does suck, because it obviously also gets killed. How they will end up using Monster Reborn on their own Slifer, which I'm just going to remove this turn. Because, you know, screw letting them keep too many of them. Although, with the Monster Reborn, it would have been destroyed at end of turn anyways, so maybe it wasn't the best play, but it doesn't bite me in the butt later. Let's throw down the Cyber Dragon, pop out the Twin. Twin can't do anything, unfortunately, because of the 3000 defense. And, of course, another Mirror Force. The AI loves the decks that have those. I mean, yes, did I choose this deck? Sure, but, yeah. Which is fine, because at least it shows that my deck can play through certain things. Even entire board wipes. However, I am also reluctant to attack because that's what I figured it was, so I threw my Phoenix into defense. And double Nimble Mamangas. I do have to clear them before I can do anything. Luckily, that does not have Soul Crossing or anything else to plop out their Slifer right now. Although my Cyber Phoenix would have been strong enough to walk over it at the time. But they do have Reckless Greed, which could just instant power it by 2 grand, so. I could have got rid of the supply, but getting rid of the 3000 defense I thought was better. Luckily for me, they never used the Obelisk, because honestly, I would have had so much issue just trying to get over that. And honestly, even though I knew the stats, I completely forgot that Nashter can bring out Twin Burst. You know, from the graveyard. However, I am reluctant to fully commit with it once it comes out. Because I'm worried that something would hit me later. And it's still a little bit before I can even do that anyways. However, when I do that, I will have a Nashter, aka Cyber Dragon. And I'll just make a second one. So that's why I'll have one in defense and the one in attack. If I had them both in attack, I would have won this turn. But I did not. Because again, I was too worried about what the face down was at the time. I had to read Millennium Seeker, I figured out what it did, but luckily for me, they chose a weaker monster and just allowed me to get a Reflect Bounder in the hand. Doesn't come into play, I don't think, or does it? I actually do believe that maybe I kill the AI with it. Oh, I don't remember now. I don't think I do in this one. We'll find out. And nope, does not come into play this match at all. So, as I said last week, we will be playing against the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck that I made back in December of 2022. I'm going to keep going against it at least once a week until I can beat it once. At least, if not full on, without a doubt, have beat it. And not like, oh, I just squeaked by. Because, yeah, it goes off quite a lot. Especially compared to mine. Also, for this episode, I do apologize. I had a match set up against another player. However, we had technical difficulties, we as a group, and were unable to actually get that done. So they will be featured in next week, so I just threw in another AI just so I could get this one out. I mean, as you can see by the board, there's just nothing I can do, again, which is unfortunate. I think I'll get to kill off the Harbinger here in a moment, but that's about all I'll be able to do, and I'm happy they didn't have that monster. I mean, not that it would have mattered, because they would have hit my defense anyways, so... But 25,000 attack, that is just insane. And that's why I baited out the Harbinger with the Mystical Space Typhoon, just so I could get the power up to beat over at least one monster. So at least it wasn't 100% closeout, like I did do some damage. But this is where they're just going to pop off and just wipe me. So let's watch it. Oh, wow, okay, I guess they didn't actually kill me that turn. I forgot there was an effect that happened or something, but... Oh yeah, Wobico, duh. But that doesn't help me this turn, so... Yeah, they just ran me over. Alright, duel number 2. I made them go first again, because why not? Don't need them popping off and just running me over, right? So at least I have a chance to do something. I throw out Hex Sealed, kill the Anima, protect myself with, I think, Dimension. I get out my Twin Burst here in a second. Had to use the Evolution Burst just to wipe the clear the field first. Add a Reflect Bounder just to back up. I'd rather have that at this point than anything else. I'm actually probably going to move Reflect Bounder into the main deck at this point. Just so I don't have to keep swapping them out with the extra deck. And they take me down to 2,000, but I have them down to 14, and as you see, I do have Eltanin, so that will clear the field. And boom, there we go. Got one win, one loss so far, so we are going to round 3. And my hand is not the greatest. Like, it's not the worst in some circumstances, but going against the Blue Eyes, it's clearly not an ideal situation. Especially with what they're doing here, like, boom. I mean, they could have done more, but I'm happy they didn't. We will destroy the Harbinger, at least. I mean, so it's something, but... What was that? 1,600? Not a whole lot of damage. But at least it, again, makes it so that they didn't just, you know... have a flawless victory. However, boom boom, 4,000, and then increases its own attack, which I thought I'd be able to at least run into and kill, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with the Twin Burst here. Because with limiter removal, it doubled my attack, but then he did something and clearly didn't to go through. I forgot what the card did, so. I hugely misplayed. I should have kept it. I mean, it wouldn't have done much else, but maybe one of these other two would have tried attacking it first, and I could have got at least some more damage in. And yeah, I think that's the end of this one once they finish doing their shenanigans. Nope, they did not attack. Oh yeah, because Draglubian used his effect, and then that's why. Alright, and then with the Dimensional Prison, I thought I'd be able to use it at any point during that battle. However, I should have just used it on the first one. I still would have lost. At least their field wouldn't have been so great. And moving on, I'd like to thank those of you who are subbed to the channel. Justine Rubel, Dead Pooh, Allison Johnson, Chad the Squirrel, Loki Odinson, and Jasmine Ripley. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I am planning on doing some giveaways here soon. However, I think I have to do that on Twitter or Patreon or something, so I'll probably just do it on Twitter. So if you're following me on Twitter, I will be giving away some field centers soon. I'm just not sure when, hopefully within the next couple weeks. Anyways, with match 3, we are going against my Altergeist budget deck. That deck was built, I think, exactly under $50, but not by much. I've never featured it on the channel because I never got to use it for what it was intended for. So if you want to see the actual build of that, do let me know in the comments below. I really didn't want to negate anything that I could have been able to, especially when Upstart. I'd rather just have the life because, you know, honestly, it almost made a massive difference at the end of this one. Altergeist, for what it is, it's actually a pretty good deck. Like, it negates, it pops, it does pretty much everything you need it to do, and for being under $50, it is a fantastic deck. I highly do recommend for anyone who wants to get into the game to try it out. I mean, like right there, I didn't get to do anything. Like, they just, nope, denied. You are not getting to do anything. You don't get to pull anything out. You don't get to revive anything. You're just, nope, hey, at least I had a card to semi-stop something. And by semi, I do mean because they just, you know, send it back to my hand, I believe. Let's watch and find out. After they do all their things. Nope, never mind, he just attacked it. I think it was the last time that it got sent back, but anyways. Cyber Eltanin, as always, coming in clutch to help clear out a field. However, boom, and then just destroys. So, I mean, it did half of what I wanted it to do. It just didn't clear everything out, so. Still at 6,200 life. Luckily, their monsters aren't super strong at the moment. So I'm able to withstand like 1 or 2 full-on attacks. And it's almost pointless to try to do anything when they have certain cards in the grave as well. Because as you see, it just basically negates yours. I mean, it technically got destroyed, but it was like, hey, hand it back to hand. Alright. I thought I was going to have to use limited removal with Dre. However, lucky for me, they wanted to do some things and I think prevented their own Phoenix from killing me. So, thank you, AI, for also misplaying on occasion. So then I just use that instead of even bothering with the limited removal because I'd rather have something on board at this point to keep myself alive. I would have used them right then and there, but it wouldn't have done anything. Even this turn, I think I just do a direct attack without using the limited removals because by doing the math, I think I was off by like 600 or 800. However, next turn, if I so choose, I can use them both and just finish them off. So. As long as it doesn't die. Which it didn't. So let's go. Round number 2 for match 3. Honestly, my hand's pretty stacked. Like, it's obviously not the best deck, best hand that I could have right now, but it is still pretty damn good. And actually, I think this is one of the shorter duels in the entire episode. I think it only goes up to like maybe around turn 9 or so, give or take. See, they just don't like letting me get things, man. Which again, I'm fine with, it happens. And if you can't play through at least something like that, you do have to make mass changes to your deck. Which unfortunately I can't do, I can only make minor changes each week, so. I don't think there's really too much more to say about this one. I mean, they have a couple cards in hand. Dark Ruler No More got played, but that doesn't do anything that turn. I mean, it would have been good if they had a stronger monster than my Reflect Bounder than crashed into that, because at least then they wouldn't take the effect off that, but limited removal will finish it with the Cyber Dragon. Let me know if the commentary is getting any better, if there's anything else you want me to change outside of me saying and so, because I know I say those a lot, and I'll try to do better next time, guys. All right, thanks for stopping by, and see you next week.